What's up, everybody? It's your boy C Sam's, and this is That Comic Show. We are here, only a few days away to Avengers ENDGAME, and I know a lot of people has been speculating, and a lot of people have been trying to put together the timeline, and a lot of sites have got a pretty good idea, but some sites have got it wrong, and I'm going to give you the actual timeline. Now, I've watched these movies day in and day out, all the movies, all the timelines, to make sense of it all, and this is what it is. This is a straight breakdown, so hold on to your seats because we're about to go for a ride. So, let's begin. Captain America starts off in 1943. That's when the first movie comes out. We also look at Captain Marvel. Now, Captain Marvel came out this year, but it takes place in 1995. That's before the events of Iron Man. Now, Iron Man comes out, and Iron Man takes place in 2010, at least 2010. And that's when Iron Man takes place. Now, a lot of people have things mixed up. Incredible Hulk comes out next. Incredible Hulk comes out next, and the reason why Incredible Hulk comes out next, because in Iron Man 2, at the end of Iron Man 2, when he's talking to Nick Fury, there is footage of Hulk in the whole scene when he talks about the Avengers Initiative. So, Hulk couldn't have come after Iron Man 2. Let's get it right, let's get it tight, let's keep it moving. Now, we look on. Thor happens next. Thor happens next, and then we go further, and then after Thor, we go right into Avengers. Avengers happen and takes place just after that. Now, we move on, and we go to the beginning of Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, I'm not going to add this as it happened in chronological order, but I just want you to know that the first scene of Spider-Man Homecoming takes place immediately after Avengers. Now, we move on. Iron Man 3 happens, and that's the movie that happens, and then after that, Thor happens, and then after that, Captain America happens. These movies happen in simultaneous times. They all happen simultaneously, so it's a good thing that you know that. Now, we look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 happens actually back to back, if you think about it. If you look at the timeline and how they set up the timeline, it happens within 6 months of each other, at least 6 months of each other. Now, we move on. Age of Ultron takes place after the events of what's going on in space. Now, remember, space has nothing to do with the Earth. It's two different realms. So, we focus on Avengers Age of Ultron. The next thing that we're going to look at is Ant-Man. Ant-Man happens simultaneously as Age of Ultron. It happens simultaneously. Now, we move on. Captain America Civil War takes place after Ant-Man. That's when everything goes down with the Sokovian Accords and everything like that. That's when we get introduced to Black Panther. Black Panther we get introduced to. Now, we're going to see some things get jumbled up a little bit, but I'm going to tell you the straight up way that it happens. Now, Spider-Man actually takes place before Black Panther. Doctor Strange happens in between Spider-Man and Black Panther. All three of these movies kind of happen within the same time frame. They all happen within the same time movement. Now, we even go further and we look at Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, I believe, happens around the same time. I don't think it took a year for this to happen. I think this happened at the same time because they are introduced to Doctor Strange. Now, when Doctor Strange is going down, all this stuff is happening with Spider-Man and all this stuff is happening with Black Panther. So I think around that same time, we see Thor Ragnarok. Now, Ant-Man and the Wasp that happens right after that. Now, Infinity War takes place in the middle of all of this. Everything is going down from Ant-Man and the Wasp. All this stuff is going down around the same time Infinity War is happening. Now, the question is, where do we go after Endgame? Does the next Spider-Man movie happen after Endgame? We're going to have to just wait to find out. But that is the actual order of the MCU movies. If you want to challenge me on that, please comment below. But I've done my research, I've studied this, and this is how it's going to go. This is how the timeline goes, and I hope that you guys pay attention to that. Notice that I barred all the Marvel one-shots and all the Netflix movies and the Netflix series, because all of that stuff doesn't mean anything right now. We're focused solely on the MCU movies. Once again, this is your boy Sam's. I'm super excited. I'm going to see this movie in about 2-3 days. Sam's out.